I've always hated mirrors at night. There's something about catching your reflection in the dark that feels wrong, like it's looking back just a second too late. But that didn't stop me from working the night shift at a 24-hour gym, a place filled with mirrors on every wall. It was early August, and the air conditioning had given up hours ago. The night was quiet, just the hum of vending machines and the faint sound of treadmills spinning in the empty darkness. Only one other person was left, a guy lifting weights in the far corner. At least, I thought it was just one. The stranger in the glass. He'd been there since around 11 p.m. Tall, wearing a gray hoodie with the hood up. He didn't talk to anyone, just stared into the mirrors as he lifted, like he wasn't watching himself, but something behind the reflection. Every time I looked his way, he'd stop mid-rep and hold still. I brushed it off as paranoia. I'd worked here for months. Drunk people, creeps, weird loners, I'd seen it all. But around 2 a.m., things got different. I was wiping down machines when I saw him again, or maybe his reflection. He was across the room, but in the mirror closest to me, his reflection was standing right behind me. I froze, turned around. No one. The air felt thick, like I was underwater. I blinked, looked again, and he was back in his corner, lifting weights like nothing happened. My hands shook as I went back to the counter. I told myself I was tired, just shadows, reflections, exhaustion. But I couldn't shake that image. His reflection closer than he was in real life. The disconnected cameras. Around 2:30, the lights flickered. The security monitors glitched. The hallway feed went static. I tried resetting the system. It said, CAM4, disconnected. Cam 4 faced the locker rooms, the same hallway that ran behind the weight area, where the guy was. I got up, walked over, pretending to clean while peeking toward the corner. Empty. The gray hoodie was gone, but the weights were still moving, the metal bar lifting up and down. No one was touching it. I dropped the towel. The sound of clanging echoed like it was right in my ear. Then the mirror across the room showed something that froze my blood. The man in the hoodie was standing in the reflection, still lifting, but there was no one in front of the mirror. I stepped back, my heart hammering. The moment I did, his reflection stopped, then turned its head slowly toward me. The call. I ran back to the front desk, grabbed my phone, and dialed my manager, straight to voicemail. The gym was dead silent again. The air felt colder, heavier. I opened the security feed one more time, and every camera showed static except one, Cam 6, the front entrance. There, in perfect clarity, stood the man in the gray hoodie, outside the glass door, facing directly toward the camera. Except the door wasn't locked. I sprinted toward it and slammed the lock into place. My breath fogged against the glass as I stared out, but he wasn't there. The parking lot was empty. I backed away slowly, then turned and nearly screamed. In the wall mirror behind me, his reflection was standing inside the gym, only a few feet behind me. The locker room I ran. Through the hallways, past the dark weight machines, straight into the locker room, slamming the door behind me. My breathing was sharp, uneven. I needed to think, to wake up. My phone buzzed. Finally, a message. From an unknown number. Don't look away from the mirror. I dropped the phone instantly. The mirror above the sinks shimmered, like heat waves distorting the glass. Slowly, a shape formed behind my reflection. The hooded man. His head tilted at an impossible angle. Then he lifted his hand and placed it against the mirror. Palm first. A faint crack appeared in the glass. Then another, and then his palm pressed through it. I screamed, stumbling back as his arm reached out of the mirror, dripping with black water. I grabbed a locker door and slammed it against the mirror, shattering the surface completely. The arm vanished, but now, every mirror shard on the floor reflected something different. In one shard, he was standing, in another, walking toward me, and in one piece near my shoe, I saw my own reflection, smiling. The escape. I bolted for the exit, not caring about anything but the glass door ahead. I ran barefoot across the gym floor, shards cutting my feet. I reached the door, but it wouldn't open. I looked up. The reflection in the door was still locked, even though my hands were turning the latch. And behind my reflection stood the man. He raised his hand slowly, pointing toward me. Then the reflection smiled, my own face, and whispered something I couldn't hear. I looked down at my phone, hands trembling, and saw one final text. "You're in the reflection now." The world flipped. My vision bent like glass twisting inward, and suddenly I was staring out from the other side of the mirror. He was on my side of the room now, breathing heavily, looking around. The gym lights flickered, and I screamed, but no sound came out. He turned to leave, and my reflection, or whatever I had become, stayed trapped in the dark glass, watching him walk away with my body. Aftermath. It's been 3 weeks. They found my locker key on the floor. The security footage that night showed nothing, not even me. But sometimes when people come to the gym late at night, they complain to the staff about the mirrors. They say they see an employee's reflection still moving after they've turned away. Some even hear a voice whisper from the glass, begging them not to look too long. Because if you do, you might trade places too.